Ladies and gentlemen, this is an article in The Guardian. Trump 2024 run could upend midterms and deflect risk of prosecution. Really? Prosecution for what? What evidence do they have after 2 years? Aside from he threw his dinner at the wall, and then ketchup was running from the wall, and he tried to commandeer the limousine, but the driver refuted that, and then the Secret Service agent also refuted the absurd claim that he tried to lunge at the agent and commandeer the vehicle, and then later he threw his dinner at the wall. I mean, this is what they have with Trump. With Clinton and top secret intelligence on private servers and emails showing that Bernie Sanders was cheated, forcing Debbie Wasserman Schultz to resign, and emails showing that Hunter obviously has a relationship with business associates around the world, utilizing his family name, specifically utilizing the vice president at the time, who lied about meeting with Hunter's business associates. Clear violations of the law. Emails like, how can you use your influence on the company's behalf? But Trump threw his dinner at the wall. Oh my God. And then you had the Federal Bureau of Investigation finding no evidence, according to Business Insider, Yahoo, and other articles in 2021, that he organized anything that day. It was a terrible day. Everyone condemns it. I don't see many people on the left condemning the loss of life. An unarmed woman lost her life on that day. And I don't see anyone on the left. I mean, you're talking about the biggest hypocrites and disingenuous and duplicitous people when they look at an entire summer, and I agree with the cause of why people were demonstrating that summer, but $1 to $2 billion in property damage, according to Wikipedia, 19 lives lost, 14,000 arrests. Yes, the cause was a noble cause, but nothing is worth that carnage. And it's not your property. If you say, well, it's not a big deal, it's just property. Not your property. You wouldn't like your property being sacrificed for a noble cause. Or, God forbid, your life. And so, but see, imagine if conservatives were, or Trump supporters, or anyone linked to Donald Trump was responsible for $1 to $2 billion in property damage. And you had Democrats with the rhetoric, with their words, with their encouragement, CNN, fiery but mostly peaceful, as a building is set ablaze behind the journalist, quote-unquote journalist. But anyway, rumors are swirling, and so speculation is swirling in the U.S. media that Donald Trump is considering announcing a 2024 presidential run as early as this summer, and in the face of even more damaging revelations from a congressional investigation of his role. None of the revelations are damaging. None. They're all hearsay and gossip. There's testimony against both Clintons, by the way, years back in like 2018, pertaining to the Uranium One sale. Congressional testimony. An informant from the Bureau. Okay? Democrats said, well, there's no evidence, it's just his testimony. Then you have Tony Bublinsky, Hunter's business associate, stated, oh yeah, those emails are clear pay-to-play schemes. Yeah, he was actually trading his family name and access to the United States government. Nobody believed him on the left. Media didn't even want to talk about it. Media went ahead and suspended the New York Post. That's why whatever you think of Donald Trump, half the electorate will always vote for Donald Trump, almost half the electorate, because media, Hollywood, social media algorithms, everything's stacked against him. The New York Times, MSNBC, the Washington Post, CNN, everybody from Vanity Fair, Esquire, Time Magazine, BuzzFeed, Rolling Stone, New Yorker, The Atlantic, you name it, the entire American political establishment media is leveled against Trump with one agenda and goal in mind, one objective: to convey the warped and distorted viewpoint that Trump is bad, Democrats are good. Trump is worse than anything Democrats can do, even though their corruption is, their political party is like the epicenter of corruption. They can't even have a functioning primary, and they have emails that are written by their own hands showing clear violations of the law. But anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now. We're on our way. We're actually almost at 198,000 subs, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost at 198,000 subs. Just tell your friends about this channel. Also, very important segment on the Nuclear Confrontation channel, Nuclear Confrontation and Stock Market Crash channel. I'm talking about things nobody's talking about, like the Satan II missile. Yeah, I know. Can you imagine? But that's a thing, if you can believe it. And it can actually destroy countries, and Moscow has it, and it's something that you should know about. So go to the Nuclear Confrontation and Stock Market Crash channel, and also Oil Prices 150 Bitcoin 10K Recession channel. So just uplifting news from all three of my channels. But go to those two channels. They're below in the description section. Hit subscribe if you want to support my work. My Patreon is below, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to give a super thanks, the super thanks is below. Ladies and gentlemen, also, I'll have a live stream tonight at around 8:30 p.m. Pacific, so be here. But, and please, watch the playlist in the description. I predicted the economic downturn in September of 2021. You can see all the segments and the playlist. And also, you can read my article in the Federalist. Please go ahead in October. That's below in the description section. Also, I have an article on Barry Bonds and Floyd Mayweather that I wrote years back. 2 articles. I want you to read that if you're interested in sports and share that everywhere, please. Let's just go ahead and, irrespective of Trump's chances of, another presidential campaign under consideration. So, could give the former president a multi-year shield to deflect the attention of prosecutors. A multi-year shield from what? Third-party testimony? In testimony to the panel last week, Cassidy Hutchinson, a former aide to Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, strengthened a potential criminal case. How? When she alleged? You don't strengthen any criminal case or political case when you allege that Trump knew his supporters were armed. You can't prove that, and furthermore, that's absurd. The Secret Service isn't going to allow him to speak to armed people. That makes no sense at all. And when he encouraged them to march on, he said peaceful. And he did not. What happened, see, they can't admit what happened. What happened was he didn't realize that things could get out of hand. He miscalculated. He made a bad move. It wasn't an organized plot to overthrow the government. If you think that Trump wanted to overthrow the United States government, you're an absolute imbecile. He did not want to do that. Nor is there any evidence that he did. Zero evidence aside from him throwing his dinner at the wall or trying to commandeer a limousine according to a staffer. It's always with Trump. There's a dossier that said he's in a Moscow hotel room. And there's somebody said this about him, according to current and U.S. former officials. It's just hearsay and gossip. But if you do that with, if anybody is associated with Hunter or Joe or Hillary, and they say, oh yeah, they committed crimes. No way. It's baseless claims. For 4 years, actually for 6 years, with the Democrats with Trump Russia, they said, oh, he was installed by the Kremlin, and this person said he could be doing this and that. There's an alpha, there's servers, he could have servers, he could have all these things. It was Clinton with top secret intelligence on private servers. By the way, Hillary's running again. Thank God. Thank the good Lord. You heard it here first. Actually, you've heard it here for the past 3 years. Nobody will be happier on this planet than I will when Hillary Clinton runs again. I just want every liberal, progressive YouTuber who told their viewers to vote for Clinton in 2016, I want them to do it again. I have my own reasons. I want them to do it again. Also, I want to relive 2016 because I'm still a relic, a dinosaur of 2016. We needed to do it all over again. This way, Democrats will understand it wasn't another country. It was Trump defeating Clinton, like I said. But she even if she happened to win, she'd be a million times better than mashed potato brains. So I'll try to be, objective there. But anyway, they have nothing on Trump. They never did. All they have is a dossier and people saying bad things about him. Okay? And there's another article in The Guardian here. It's time for Democrats to fear their own voters. That will never happen. This is from a great journalist. Okay. I have a great deal of respect for this journalist. Okay. He might think I'm nuts, but it's time for Democrats to fear their own voters. This is an article in The Guardian. As I'm reading this, I see this article. Democrats will never fear their own voters because the pundits and journalists who are the most respected within the Democratic Party have the mentality, the vote blue no matter who mentality. It is a cult-like allegiance. They demand absolute obedience and loyalty at all times. They can cheat Bernie Sanders. They can make up an absurd myth pertaining to Trump. They can influence. Remember a pressure campaign? Trump pressured people. What's all this pressure that with MERRICK Garland and prosecuting Trump for what? What did he do? He organized the plot. Well, where's the evidence? Where are the emails? Where are the quotes from him? Where's the recording? You mean Trump wasn't recorded? He's always being recorded. At all times, Trump was recorded. He knew that. And the president of the country he was supposed to have strong-armed and pressured stated that no, he denied ever being pressured by Trump. Democrats still impeached him. And by the way, that geopolitical nightmare I talk about on the Nuclear Confrontation channel. You'll enjoy the JPEGs, also the thumbnails. I worked hard on the thumbnails, so you'll like the Nuclear Confrontation thumbnails. Go ahead to the Nuclear Confrontation channel. Only good, happiness from these three channels. Oil prices will reach 150. But Democrats will never fear their own voters because if you vote for Trump and you're a lifelong Democrat, I know this, you will lose like 7, 8 friends, family members. They'll say, I can't be your friend anymore. I have to disown you. You voted for Trump. That's like literally the only thing you'll do wrong is vote for Trump. If you leave the Democratic Party, if you're a writer like myself, you'll get hit pieces. If you say you're not going to... I was on the left. I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post. And the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. You can see all my writing on hagoodman.com. But the second you leave, you will get this... It's like you committed the greatest crime in the world. They'll disown you. They'll just treat you as if you're a criminal. And it's that mentality that made them lose 2016. Had they just, in that moment in time, chose Bernie Sanders. See, Trump is infinitely better than Bernie Sanders. He was a great president in terms of accomplishments. The media meltdown took away from his accomplishments and also some of the things he did on Twitter. But again, you judge people by their actions, not by their words. His actions are infinitely better than mashed potato brains. Okay. Also, President Obama destroyed a country with his intervention in Libya. Okay. Trump didn't do that. Right then and there, Trump's a better president. Infinitely better than Bush also. You look at what Trump was able to do. Doha Agreement, reversing U.S. foreign policy of 20 years. Okay. He's the one who brought home Americans. And mashed potato brains Joe botched everything. It was a May 1st, 2021 withdrawal. May 1st. Biden decided to just wait until later in the summer for no reason at all other than to spite Trump. Those 13 Americans and those over 100 Afghans should be alive today. Utilizing, by the way, our mortal enemies as help, momentary allies, which is very bizarre. Very bizarre. Then you have a geopolitical crisis and nightmare in Europe that Democrats have no problem. Democrats, you're talking about the most insidious foreign policy. They have no problem. I'm speaking in roundabout terms because I'm always, cognizant of, and so they don't mind if it goes on for the next 100 years. You have to understand something, ladies and gentlemen. If you lasted this long, 14 minutes. Trump would have negotiated a deal, some kind of settlement, some kind of peace treaty, some kind of something. Either initially or to prevent the hostilities from going on forever. Democrats, if you said to them, oh yeah, it'll go on for 100 years, where God forbid that country would get decimated, they'll say, oh, okay, well, they're doing it for us. Let's just go ahead and send armaments they will never want to have some kind of negotiated deal, because this is like the sacred cow, one of the sacred cows in liberal foreign policy, the liberal foreign policy establishment in Europe and the U.S. The sacred cow is, oh, no, can't negotiate with you-know-who, unless it's President Obama and the 80s want their foreign policy back, when he's telling Romney the 80s want your foreign policy back. And so then they believe that you-know-who infiltrated 2016 to show the world that Bernie Sanders was cheated with DNC emails. I mean, it's like all their corruption is marketed as the plot of another country to let you know how corrupt Democrats are. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now. They have nothing on Trump, but it's true. It'll be very difficult for Garland to even do anything. I think that it's a possibility that they indict Trump. If he doesn't run sooner rather than later, there's a possibility that the longer he waits, they just indict him just for the media coverage. Then you get DeSantis, who could be a better politician than even Trump, and harder to defeat for Democrats. So, but anyway, hit subscribe to this channel. Be here tonight at around 9 p.m., 8:30 p.m. Pacific for the live stream. Go to the Nuclear Confrontation channel right now, and go to the Oil Prices 150 channel. That's below in the description section. And go ahead and share my articles on Barry Bonds and Floyd Mayweather. You might agree, you might disagree, but please go ahead and share them everywhere, because there's, more to my writing than just about politics. So I want people to kind of see a different side of me. Give me your thoughts below. Thanks so very, very much.